Did you take the morning after pill? Well, we're going to see how the Fed's reaction to their rate hike is today. We're going to go over the morning after, the day after, as well as I know a lot of you have been talking about this. What the hell just happened to our gas bills? This is BS. We're going to go over what is the real issue with the gas bills that you receive now. A lot of you out there are really pissed off. Of course, I'm going to go over that as well. Next on Real Estate Daily. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage markets. Now, before we jump into it, hit that subscribe button. Boom, boom, boom. It will help us out. I have a feeling we could be shadow banned, as a lot of YouTubers get when they say one wrong word or you spell one wrong word the right way. All right, let's jump into it. How the Fed's decision could push mortgage rates lower. What's happened, and I've said this multiple times now for the past, 3-4 months, when the Fed actually comes out with their rate hike, when they announce it, they have a meeting right after, and then they have a news conference. And every news conference has been kind of dovish. There hasn't been these harsh remarks hearing from our Fed Chairman Powell. Well, what we typically happen in markets in the past is that the stock market and now the crypto market's following it, they're front running the Fed, meaning they're already anticipating the Fed stopping rate hikes. Now, we heard the Fed say yesterday that they had foresee several more rate hikes in the future, but I think the market's thinking that there might be one at the end of March and then it won't be any more, and that there's somewhere down the road, the Fed will pivot. Well, that's here to be seen. There's a lot of factors come into play. Obviously, CPI comes into play. The unemployment rate comes into play. And again, the Fed's decisions are based upon how they can destroy your life. That's basically how it is. If you spend less because you have less money, because inflation is greater than earnings, then that's what they're doing. Now, when everyone sits there and they clap and they go, "Oh, hey, the CPI is only 6%. Guys, it was 8% last year. So since this administration took over, your cost of living's gone up 14%. And we know what CPI stands for. CPI lie. We know that nothing's gone up 14%. We know that everything's gone up a lot more. But I digress. What we're seeing is we're front running the Fed. The bond market is, and the bond market is telling the Fed, "You're a bunch of idiots. You shouldn't be raising. You should be stopping." And that's why the bond market doesn't believe the Fed at all. Next article, which is kind of in the same vein, mortgage rates dropped to 5% range for the first time since September. October was the worst nightmare month all of 2022. September was it building up. So now we're seeing the slide down. Now, I don't think it's going to be as fast as people think it's going to be. I mean, we're not dropping rates into the 4s anytime soon, but I do think that we'll be in the 5s. And right now, the hallelujah moment for the buyers on that have been sitting on the sidelines is back. Now, how do we keep that enthusiasm? The only way to keep it is if we have some inventory. That's a problem. We do not have inventory. We're still seeing multiple offers. As I told people back in October and November, hey, the 2-1 buy down, and there was a lot of good things going on, that sellers were giving concessions. Those concessions are disappearing, and they're disappearing fast. I've gotten a lot of buyers giving me a call right now. Hey, Troy, we want to go out and look. And I'm like, it's fantastic, but don't be looking for 2-1 buy downs or closing costs, because those aren't winning these bids today on homes. All right, next article. Consumers look to credit home equity to stay afloat. One thing that I've really said, and a lot of economists have said, there's going to be, because of this administration that we've had in, we're seeing a separation of the white and blue collar or the middle class. So people that are out there that are making, the 80,000, 70,000, 60,000, they're getting pushed down into a different class. They're getting pushed out of the middle class. And it's because their money isn't being stretched out. It's absolutely been losing. What, the cost of eggs, the cost of milk, you start looking at all the things that you just need to survive have gone up. Insurance has gone up, gasoline has gone up, energy's gone up. I mean, in a minute, we're going to talk about the absolute trashing of the state of California from our governor, and his cronies have really crushed us here. Let's go ahead to the next one. Crushed us on the gas bills. Anyone out there in Southern California knows that when you are looking at energy, how can I cut corners and save? Well, one thing that you haven't had the problem with is water bill, because if you didn't turn the water on and water the lawn during the summer, then the water bill didn't really go up. But you did have electric bill, so you had to keep your eye on your electric bill. Otherwise, it can get out of control. A lot of people didn't want to turn it on between 4 and 9 p.m. because the price per kilowatts was just stupidly high. So with that being said, if you had an electric car, you charged it up after 9. If you wanted to wash your clothes, you washed them after 9. Well, guess what your elected officials here in the state of California decided to do? Yes. Don't blame don't blame the market. Don't blame anything else. All of our utilities and insurances are regulated by the state of California. And Southern California Edison, Southern California Gas has to get approval with the state of California to raise or drop anything. Well, guess what? It looks like we went up about 385% in our gas bill, and everyone is pissed. Think about it. Your inflation was out of control already last 2 years, and now the Fed's saying it's better in control, and the market's front running it, yet your gas bill went up 385%. I've seen so many people pissed off. The turning on the furnace, this all has to do, again, with elected officials. If they don't, just like the Biden administration had said, he said, we need to get rid of gas stoves. Why? Because they want to make it greener out there. So once again, just like the fuel costs at the gas pump, they're going to punish you for using energy. Punish you. They're not going to ease you into it. They're not going to go, hey, let's convert on a slow. No, they're going to go punish you. Guys, when you're out there voting, why don't you have your youngster, your teenager, your Gen Z, why don't you make them pay those bills? When they have to pay those bills and they saw a 385% jump, well, maybe they'll make a better decision at the voting booth in next time, because this is simply the CPUC in the state of California made the decision with the state with SoCal Gas to raise this dramatically from now on. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, gas futures, gas this, gas, natural gas that. Guys, we just sent enormous amount of natural gas to Europe to save them out of their crisis. And because of that, now we're getting punished for it, number one. But more importantly, if you look at nat gas in the stock market, it's a commodity that's being traded. It's been going down and down. It's down 70% in the last 60 days. Let me say that again. It's down 70%. But how did your bill go up 385%? Because you're being lied to, because the state of California approved this. They allowed anyone, they allow everyone. This is not a free market. Utilities have never been a free market, ever been a free market. You've always been regulated, and you cannot go up a penny or down a penny unless the state allows it. Obviously, when did this happen? After elections. Very interesting. You go ahead and blow people out and put people put middle class into poor class, put poor class out on the streets, right? But their little stimmy checks you gave them for $300 doesn't even cover half their gas bill, let alone any other utility. Yeah, that's how you keep them happy. Pat them on the back, stimmy them all day, and then screw them the next month right out the bat off of gas that's really needed when you need it, when you need to warm up your house. No, you guys go frozen cold, but go turn your electric on all day because we don't care about that now because it isn't summer. All right, getting off my soapbox, let's jump into the rates. Rates dropped a little bit from yesterday. 30-year conforming went down 0.08 or 8 basis points. Looks like about 6 basis points on FHA. Nothing very big. Jumbo went down 10 basis points. Guys, I thought we were going to see this huge drop, but you know what? It bounced right back today. I think I always say there's a hangover, right? What happens is the market has an initial reaction. And yesterday it was negative for a second. And then all of a sudden, positive right through the roof. Stock market explodes, crypto market explodes. And then the day after, they think about it for a minute and go, it just wasn't as good as we had hoped. But you know what? Give me a week and I'll start lower. The bond market will get strong again and we're going to lower. But right now, it's not a very good time to do it. They're actually reassessing reality at the moment. But next week, it'll go back into unrealistic information that's being pumped through. And now they're going to lower interest rates again. So, well, guys, thank you very much for hearing my opinion and all the garbage that's out there. If you have any comments, leave them below. Otherwise, you guys take care, and I'll see you Friday.